Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
New at noon, a murder investigation is now underway after a body was found in a Minnesota home. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Schreier. The Cass County Sheriff's Office responded to an emergency call in Cass Lake, where they discovered the body of a 19-year-old. Homicide is the suspected cause of death, and an autopsy is scheduled. Authorities are not releasing the person's identity. Also new at noon, Minnesota State Patrol is investigating a deadly crash in Becker County. The accident happened around 5:45 this morning between a semi and a pedestrian on Highway 59 near Brandy Lake Road. That's just north of Detroit Lakes. Now stay with us here at Valley News Live as we get more information on this developing story. We have new information this afternoon on the man who was arrested along I-94 near Downer, Minnesota for allegedly sexually assaulting a girl in his semi. That man is soon headed to trial. 34-year-old Kenneth George Zender is charged with one felony count of criminal sex conduct. In August, Zender was involved in a pursuit that ended on I-94 near Downer. Officials received a text from the 15-year-old girl just before 10:30 on August 21st saying that Zender sexually assaulted her inside the semi at a truck stop in Stearns County, Minnesota. The trial starts on December 10th, and if convicted, Zender could spend the next 30 years in prison. Taking that live look outside, it's pretty calm out there now, but some spots can expect a little snow later today if they haven't already seen it. For what we can expect in our forecast, let's head on over to Storm Team meteorologist Lisa Green.
That's true. Things seem just fine if you're in the Southern Valley, but take a trip up north and you're going to run into this. So Fargo's looking okay. We're mostly cloudy, but check out Emerado and Devil's Lake and New Rockford. We've got snow-covered roads, low visibility in Devil's Lake. It's a wintry scene up in the Northern Valley. By the way, Emerado, we've got snow there, and just a few miles to the east, Grand Forks had just rain for a while. It does look like the radar is indicating it's switching over to snow at this point in time, but temperature, even 1 degree difference can make a big difference in what type of precip we're seeing. So you can see the main band of snow is in the Northern Valley. We do have some areas of precipitation showing up on the radar in the south, more likely just some sprinkles, some mist and drizzle there. But again, it's the Northern Valley where we're looking at those bands of heavier snow. One in northern Grand Forks County and northwest Polk County, where you see that those flecks of white and that darker blue. It looks like some heavier snow coming down in that area, and that's going to continue rolling eastward. Grand Forks, we're at 34 degrees, so still above freezing there. Fargo's mild. We're at 40 right now. So there's a big difference between north and south, and that is having an impact on the precip and where we're seeing the colder air. That's also where the snow happens to be. So we've got a lot to talk about today, when this snow will move on or when it will finally reach some of us and just how much we can expect. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. A New Salem, North Dakota man is headed to jail for abusing a 4-month-old baby. Court documents say 31-year-old Kyle Thiel dropped a baby on the floor, breaking the child's arm and fracturing 8 ribs last December. However, before this incident, the child was taken to the hospital for bruises to his face. Thiel admitted to dropping the child and then holding him too tight. He'll now spend 60 days in jail and have to register as an offender against children. A North Dakota family is struggling to understand why anyone would attack their family dog. The Banks family of Minot say they let their beloved golden lab, Jake, out on Sunday night, and he came back limping and bloody. He had been stabbed multiple times in the head, abdomen, and leg. Vets say that Jake will survive, but he faces a long recovery. 10 candidates are set to face off tonight in the 5th Democratic debate, this one in Atlanta. An all-female panel will moderate. South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg has seen a recent surge in the polls, but he still trails frontrunner Joe Biden and top-tier competitors Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. The debate airs on MSNBC at 8 o'clock tonight. Boeing is ordering immediate changes to one of its most popular planes and engines, nearly 18 months after a Southwest Airlines passenger was killed after being partially sucked out of a window when an engine broke apart mid-flight. Tom Costello reports.
April 17th, 2018. Southwest 1380 was at 32,000 feet and in serious trouble.
Everybody breathe. Everybody breathe. We're almost landing.
Passengers donned oxygen masks as pilots declared an emergency. The left engine had come apart, showering the plane with shrapnel and shattering a passenger window, causing an immediate decompression and pulling one of the passengers from her seat through the window.
They said there was a hole and someone went out.
They tried to reel her back in, and it just was crazy.
On board, an EMT and nurse performed CPR for 20 minutes.
It just wasn't going to be enough.
43-year-old Jennifer Reardon didn't survive, leaving behind 2 children and her husband, Michael. He talked to NBC's Joe Fryer.
What should we know about Jennifer?
She was just such an open and honest being, and luckily for all of us, she expressed that. So she was genuine and pure to her core.
Investigators quickly determined a fan blade inside the left engine had broken apart in flight, tearing off a piece of the engine cowling or casing that shattered the window. It was the second fan blade to break off a Southwest 737 in less than a year. The NTSB now says that a metal fatigue crack on Flight 1380 had gone undetected for years.
This particular blade had a crack present. It went through 7 inspections prior, and nobody caught it.
Southwest has since inspected all of its similar fan blades and found 16 additional cracks. It's also ordered much more frequent inspections. Now the NTSB is calling on Boeing and engine maker CFM to make design changes to the engine and the plane to prevent similar tragedies in the future.
From tragedy, we draw knowledge to improve the safety for us all.
Boeing says it's already working on a design enhancement that would fully address the safety recommendation from the NTSB.
The FAA is now requiring fan blade inspections on that CFM engine after 3,000 takeoff and landing cycles. In our consumer alert this afternoon, do you think that you could get all of your holiday shopping done without buying anything from Amazon or any other big box store? If the answer is yes, one company would like to pay you to do just that. Business.org is researching for a shopping fanatic to ditch corporate America this holiday season and shop local. The lucky person will receive $1,000 in return. Now, to learn more about this, just go to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story.